Listen up here. The restaurant industry is grueling and unpredictable, just like this show, from the front of the house to the back of the house and all in between. We will turn up the heat, you turn up the volume. I'm Chef Antonio Caruana. Welcome to the Tell All Podcast, The Burnt Hands Perspective.
This podcast contains explicit and potentially offensive material. You've been warned. Now buckle up, bitches. Let's go.
All right, we are podcasting today right here at the Norva, downtown Norfolk, Virginia. This is one of the most historic theaters in the city, and we're actually going to do our podcast right here and record and actually do a tour of this place because we love it. It has all to do with all the facets of everything we do: food, entertainment, and everything downtown value. You ready for this?
I am ready. So we're going to go inside, meet up with Rick, have a conversation, and take you guys kind of behind the scenes to the, we'll also get to see the infamous hot tub. So let's go.
The hot tub. The hot tub. All right, so here's a burnt hand perspective on a different level today, and I'm amazed to do it because today we're going to sit with our friend Rick Mersel here in this amazing historical venue that actually ties a lot of the community together since post-World War I, which has a lot of history, and it has changed a lot throughout the times. But the reason why it's on the burnt hands perspective, and the reason why I want to talk about it and bring it to light, is because it's just another avenue of entertainment. Mm-hmm. And when we talk about food and cooking and how we entertain, we typically talk about the diner, the consumer. We talk about the person going out there looking for the restaurant, the best bang for their experience. What we don't talk about a lot of times is the different facets of cooking and how it intertwines with the rest of the entertainment industry. Yeah. So here in this building, again, since post-World War I, that's a long time. It has seen a lot of things, a lot of changes, a lot of different things. But in that is a lot of food. Mm-hmm. I have literally cooked for some of the most famous entertainers by being downtown here because I cater the event. So I even have an experience cooking in this venue. And again, it goes back to when you go to Nashville or anywhere you go where there's a huge entertainment or musical scene. Food is always intertwined. Mm-hmm. Going to prove that even when you go to a show, you're going to a restaurant before. So there's just another way to express the entertainment industry as far as where food's concerned and everything else. So we're going to get right into him because he's got all kinds of history. So Rick, go ahead and give us a little bit about where you're from, what you got, and we'll start right there with the introduction and the history of this place real quick.
Okay, so this building was built in 1917. It was for the troops after World War I and opened up in 1922. They started right at 1917, but so it became a vaudeville theater, entertained troops after World War I, and you had a couple of other theaters on Granby Street. So it became a silent movie theater after a few years. Then it became...
And we're talking about back then. There's a couple other ones, not like today where that would be considered competition. Back then, that was the only form of entertainment. So everyone that lived around this area would have to come down here to be entertained.
Correct. This was the center of town, as it should be, downtown. Mm-hmm. And everyone would come down here to be entertained. And this is the center of all of that. So they did the same exact thing in Richmond. Our sister venue in Richmond, the National, actually has some of the same architecture as this building does, and that was opened up in 1923. So this building, it became a silent movie theater, then a regular movie theater. Then in the 80s, it actually became a porno movie theater. And then it became the Downtown Athletic Club. And
so like any city, it starts booming, it goes into its depression types, not the depression as in the American history of it, but it goes into its bad time, and then it usually rebuilds, comes back up. So the porn theater is always hot. Now, I don't know how much food was going on then.
No.
Yeah, well, we're not even going to go there. Don't even go there.
But
a couple throat missiles.
Yeah, there was definitely eating.
Things like that.
People
even
were eating something.
Downtown Norfolk at that time, like everybody's like, don't go down there. That's when it got seedier down here, and it was kind of with the times, and then everything started to change after that.
Yeah, and then they built the mall across the street, and a couple things happened. One, it changed the whole area. It made it better. A lot of bars and restaurants opened up on Granby Street. But
that was a booming time. We're only talking about 10, 15 years ago. 15 years
really
ago.
The late 90s, early 2000s.
Early 2000s, yeah. And there was a booming scene down here.
Booming. I mean, we had Backstage Cafe. We literally had a line 3-4 nights a week.
That was a great place because that was more of a blues rock and roll themed type of bar.
Correct.
And we used to come, and it was amazing. It was just a great time.
Well, it was also a necessary evil because we had to serve food. We are concert people, but we had to serve food, liquor laws.
Right.
So we decided to open up the Backstage Cafe, and we were tearing it up, but we really weren't making that much money because we had to order fish sticks, and that would take away from booking Prince.
Yeah. Right, but hence that's where we get back into this, how people don't realize that how much intertwined the industry is. You can't just open a bar around here, and in most cities, you can't just open up a bar and not serve food. So it works hand in hand, and people don't realize that. So open up a concert venue or a hall or something like this. The food is not it's not the first thing in your mind. You're opening
the last thing in your mind.
Right.
But what's important, so a concert, especially now, is the before, the during, and the after. So we want to have a Granby Street that's viable, that people can go to Luce or they can go to any of the restaurants on Granby Street, have their meal, then come here, maybe get a snack while they're here. And then when they leave here, not to go home, what I found out after I had children is we were starting the shows too late. We were starting the shows at 8 o'clock on a weeknight, and they weren't done till midnight, and that was difficult on me, and I realized on the patrons. So we start our shows now on a weeknight. We start all our shows at 7:30, so people have time to get off work, come here, have dinner. The show's over by 10:30. They still have some time to go out and grab a drink or something, and then get home at a decent time.
So everybody benefits.
Everybody benefits.
Especially the performers too, because night after night after night, it's even better for them as well. They get to eat.
We bring in probably an average of about 150 to 175, 150 to 175,000 people every year. And so those people are down here. About 48% of those come from Virginia Beach.
Sure.
So we're bringing in, about 100,000 people from outside the market.
That's right.
It is incumbent upon everyone on Granby Street to put their best foot forward, to have the best food possible, because again, it is a whole night out. It's a whole event. They're not just coming here for the 2 hours of music. They're coming here to eat. They're coming here to drink.
It's a total experience.
Total experience.
And the better the experience is in any downtown, especially this one, the better the experience is, the more people are going to come, and everybody benefits from it. I mean, the acts that have come through here are crazy. Some people don't realize how small this room is in comparison to the largeness of the acts that have come through. Prince. I mean,
Bob Dylan, Justin Timberlake.
Yep.
Just on and on. The Stone Temple Pilots. Pretty much everything that is playing at the amphitheater now started here.
Sure. I saw the Stone Temple Pilots here. It was an amazing show. It was such a great venue.
The country artists that have played here are enormous. Are Blake Shelton, Miranda Lambert, Jason Aldean, Eric Church, just on and on. So and then I just announced today Teddy Swims at Chartway. Oh, nice. He played here.
Yep.
So we had Billie Eilish play here. We had Chappell Roan play here. So we've literally had...
We've had some serious people here.
On their way up, they come here.
And
on their way down, they come here. And some, like Prince, want to play here because he wants a more intimate show with his fans. When he came here, he literally walked around. He had his band play during sound check and literally walked around the room to hear how it would sound from every point in the room. He cared that much about his fans.
Wow.
So.
Well, and you guys are celebrating. It's 25 years.
We're celebrating 25 years. So
quarter century.
Who would have thought? So,
that's a festival.
So April of 2000, we opened up with James Brown. And
that's crazy.
Oh, that's so cool.
Isn't that crazy?
That is so cool.
I could tell a James Brown story. I wrote a book.
Yes, so we have the book, the All Revved Up and Ready to Go. So this one's fun because it's a tale of kind of your life journey through food, music, entertainment, the venue, because you grew up here.
It's available on Amazon, and basically it starts off when I'm 10 years old, and I get a crappy album for my birthday party, and I took it back to Trax at Ward's Corner, and I got my first album, which was the Ramones' Leave Home.
Perfect.
And that started my journey to the opening of the Norva. So this book is it's not just about music.
And that was a vinyl.
It was a vinyl. There's no CDs, and there's
my first vinyl was a Beastie Boys. When it first came out, 1980.
Oh gosh.
This was 1978.
Yeah.
So it's my whole journey through music. I went to school in New Orleans. It's all about New Orleans. It's all about coming back. I opened up the Bayou down in Virginia Beach, and then it ends with kind of the opening of the Norva and the first couple of years and some of the highlights of that. But And by the way, this book is available on Amazon only. So go to Amazon, all revved up and ready to go.
Yeah, check it out, read it.
So
now,
what's the James Brown story?
So James Brown's, all right.
A little teaser, just a little teaser.
So we had a struggle getting open. I don't know if anyone remembers, but we couldn't get our fire alarm system right, or our contractors couldn't. Okay. And we thought we were being sabotaged, and we didn't know what was going on. And it turns out the company that was putting fire alarm system in here was a home fire alarm system company. Oh. And we finally figured that out, got rid of them, got a commercial fire alarm company in here, and we were supposed to have 3 opening acts. We were supposed to have G-Love, we were supposed to have String Cheese Incident, and we were supposed to have the Wailers as our opening act.
Oh, gosh.
They all went away, but fortunately, James Brown ended up being our first act. Now,
that's crazy.
So James, he had come into our office earlier in the day, and we weren't sure we were going to get open that night. He's like, I will go talk to who I need to talk to. I'll go talk to the fire marshal.
It's like I got pulled.
I'm James Brown. I'm
it's a man's world.
I'm
the Godfather of Soul. I can get this done.
I can make your fire alarm.
So he helped us. He talked to them. It didn't really matter if it was James Brown or not, because the fire alarm worked fine. But so I went upstairs to thank him before the show. And I walk in, and you'll see this later, but we do have a hot tub upstairs.
Yes.
So
the infamous hot tub.
So Saturday Night Live sketch
Eddie
with James
Murphy,
Brown, Eddie Murphy is a hot tub sketch. So that's perfect. So I walk in backstage, and there's James Brown, and he's putting on a red leather outfit, but he's essentially naked. So it's James Brown and little James Brown. So
Little J.
So I'm talking to him kind of like this, and he's like, "Oh, Rick, I just love when young people are in the business. It's so great.
And how old were you at this point?
Great." This was 25 years ago.
Okay.
So I'm old.
You're younger. Yeah.
I was younger.
Old enough, but not yet.
So yes. So I saw Big J and Little J ended up playing a fantastic night, and interesting enough, it did not sell out. We only did like 800 people for that show.
Wow, that's crazy.
And the people who missed out on that, it's like you look back at it and you're like, it's insane.
It's because, I don't, who knows why it was back then, but I got a feeling maybe because the Norva was so new, people didn't.
Oh, yeah, exactly what it was. They didn't know
this area didn't know much about that at the time.
So meanwhile, we have won Rolling Stone magazine in their 2013 issue, picked the Norva as the #1 venue in the country of any size.
That's huge.
So we beat the Ryman in Nashville, and we beat 930 Club in DC, and we beat
in Rolling Stone. So that's not like, it's not your local taste, the local best of.
Correct.
Yeah. We're talking about Rolling Stone magazine.
This is a poll in 2013 Rolling Stone. If you want to see the other venues, you can look it up.
So when you look at the book and you look through the book, I'm going to go back to my world.
Yes.
It's all there's food elements and everything.
Well, what I realized, so when we started talking about doing this, I kind of did a reread of the book, and what I realized as I'm rereading it is there's food attached to every musical milestone I had. There was food attached to it. The Ward's Corner, where I grew up, it was Milton's Pizza, it was Mr. Jim's, it was Melvin's Deli. We'd go to all these places. That was our lives were in these restaurants.
Right.
And then getting older, it would be high school where we would go to Friar Tuck's or 4400 Club or Bennigan's down.
All great. Bennigan's was great. I miss that place.
Yeah, there's a story there. So
I love Bennigan's. So off Lynnhaven.
It's like all intertwined.
Yeah, I went to New Orleans. I went to school in New Orleans, and as I show you in the book, that's where kind of my world opened up. So my food at home was Kraft American cheese, was Pop-Tarts, but only chocolate and blueberry, nothing else.
Right.
It was Coke with every meal. It was meatloaf. It wasn't great.
As basic as it gets.
So
American.
Yeah.
There's 2 reasons. I'm 58 years old, by the way, but I feel like I look a little younger because, number one, I'm completely preserved from all the crap I ate.
You got
all the preservatives.
Mummified.
And then I'm pickled from all the alcohol.
Mummified.
It's a double whammy.
So I'm pickled and preserved.
It's a good combination.
So I went to school in New Orleans, and that's a very different world than Kraft American cheese or Ding Dong.
Right out the gate.
That's a food town.
That's going to open up senses you didn't even have. Even me, myself as a chef, you go down there, it's just a whole new world of senses.
So I met a guy in my dorm, and he's from Lafayette, Louisiana. And there was an andouille sausage festival. But the way he sold it to me was a concert festival. It was the Marshall Tucker Band, and it was Charlie Daniels Band. That's how he sold it to me. So I was like, okay, cool. Devil went down to Georgia. I'm in.
Yeah.
So we drive to Laplace, Louisiana. And on the way, I didn't eat because I figured there'd be food there, but I figured might be hamburgers or hot dogs or that kind of thing. So he's telling me what to expect, and he's telling me there's going to be alligator there, there's going to be oysters there, there's going to be crawfish there.
Louisiana food.
I didn't eat any of that growing up. One, my mom keeps kosher, so I didn't even have a cheeseburger in my house growing up, much less have crawfish or alligator.
And it's not like you could just run to the store down here and grab a chunk of alligator and throw it on the grill.
No.
Then he tells me about this thing called boudin, and boudin is, what I found out later, is basically blood sausage stuffed into a condom.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's delicious.
And I'll eat it now.
I'll take 2 of them.
I'll eat it now, but it's super frightening when you grew up with what I grew up with. So we get to the festival, and you'll like this. So it's all bikers.
Mm-hmm. And, I like it already.
And I see a bunch of food huts in the back of the festival grounds, and New Orleans, or all of Louisiana, is one giant swamp. So even if it rains a little bit, just like Norfolk, basically,
swamped up.
It's swamped up.
Yeah, it's flood. Yeah.
So you trudge across the field, and it's all muddy and stuff. And then I got to the back, and I didn't see any hamburgers or hot dogs. I saw a bunch of scary critters that were all
roasting.
Critters, yeah.
Rotating.
I saw a bunch of critters, and so
roadkill.
The way he explained it to me, and the way Cajun food is, they didn't have supermarkets in the swamp, so they had to eat what was there.
Of course,
yeah,
absolutely.
And what was there was crawfish and alligators and all that stuff. So
all the bugs.
So I'm looking around, and I see one of the huts, and it had rice, and it had hot dogs in there. And so I was like, okay, fine.
Rice and hot dogs. That's safe.
I was like,
if it is.
If it is.
I was like, rice and hot dogs are safe. And I figured it'd be the hot dogs would be a little spicy, so I was ready for that. And then there's this green stuff in there, and I was like, what's that?
This is getting weird, man.
It was okra.
Okay, that's good.
I'd never eaten okra before, but I took it back, and I'm eating it. And then this guy who looks like Cajun Popeye comes up to me and goes, boy, you know what you eating? And I was like, leave me alone, weird guy. And he said, oh boy, he goes, that make you rape women, put lead in your pencil. And I'm like, what is he saying? What is he talking about? And he goes, you know what nutria is? And I was like, yeah, nutritious jambalaya. And he goes, oh no. He goes, nutria. It's a swamp rat about this big. So it said nutria jambalaya, and I'm like, oh, nutritious jambalaya. Okay, cool.
Oh my gosh.
So that hot dog turned out to be swamp rat.
Oh my gosh, that's
so
great.
I ate.
But you ate it.
I ate it.
Was it good?
So it was okay. It tasted like hot dogs. I wouldn't know any difference. But at that point in time, like literally the skies parted, and I'm like, I just ate a swamp rat, so nothing is going to be off limits.
What's worse?
Nothing's going to be off limits to me now. I'll eat everything. I'll open this and subsequently open myself up to new musical styles, open myself up to what's going on. New Orleans is its own place.
Listen, once you go swamp rat, you never go back.
No, so that was where the food came in, and then it's all about New Orleans. Then it's all about even Barks root beer, which is native to New Orleans. You can only drink it out of a bottle. They have it in cans, but it tastes completely different. And then I came back here, and I started the Bayou in Virginia Beach. Basically, because I miss New Orleans so much, it was basically just a shrine. There was actually a mural of my house on one wall in Mardi Gras. But we were the #1 nightclub in the whole state of Virginia.
It was a great club too.
It was
a good time. So in the Bayou, it was a good time. Now, it just goes to show that if you wouldn't have ate the swamp rat, you may not have had.
I may not have been where I am today.
Correct. So again, like I said, the reason why I wanted to talk about this on the Burnt Hands perspective is because of the food elements. So many people don't realize how it is. I have a feeling that if we were to talk to a construction crew, right, someone who lays concrete, we can sit here and talk about how food influences them on their job site and how their story with food goes all over.
I mean, it literally
everything.
changed my life.
It's everybody needs to understand that it's one of the 3 things we need to survive.
Well,
and sometimes we make a great time with it.
Yeah, well, it should be.
Well, when we opened this place up, so we're in Norfolk, Virginia. So there's basically no north, south, or east. You can't go north, south, or east. You're in a cul-de-sac. So it's coming in off of 95 to 64 and into here. So we had to get artists to play in Norfolk, Virginia. They have to play in New York. They have to play in Chicago. They have to play in Atlanta. All
This
that.
isn't a
They don't have to play in Norfolk, Virginia. So we had to build a better mousetrap. So one of the things we did immediately was to hire a chef to be here. Well, when those guys came in here, I'll tell you, I was in a venue in New York City, and it just opened up, and the person running that was so excited to show me their catering. And I walked in, and their catering was 6 tables with pizza on it and flies buzzing around the pizza.
Oh, God.
Meanwhile, we have a chef who cooked gourmet food here, who cooked to people's orders. We would do chickens, and we would do steaks, and we would do...
Sure.
And so when people came here and they saw what's backstage, and you guys will go on a tour later, you'll see a hot tub, you'll see a game room, you'll see a basketball court.
It's a whole experience.
So basically, when they came here, it was basically a spa day for them. So they got to sit in the hot tub, they got to sit in the sauna, and they got to play basketball. And then they had a great meal before they got on stage. And don't forget, when you're on tour 100, 150 days out of the year, and you're eating garbage there, or even drinking water because the water systems are different, by the time you get on stage, you might have some stomach issues.
Right.
So we wanted to make sure that we treated them fantastic, so when they left, they wanted to come back.
Well, the managers are always looking for the best experience for their bands and the best thing to do. So that makes this venue very sellable, like you said. I never considered the fact that coming to Norfolk, even on an airplane, just to go back and forth for me is traveling, is a pain in the ass. Because we have layovers. We just don't have no direct flights.
Correct.
So to have you guys have to get these top, these international known bands to come in here.
Well, it's even more of a struggle now, because now they can. Richmond didn't exist then. Now we have.
Tell me about the difference. I know this question, and I hate this word, but it's very important to see how things have changed since, so some people can just understand how much it changed our lives. COVID came around. This was a complete venue. Okay, we understand how that did to everybody. We don't need to get into all that shit. But how did that affect today? Look back to then to today when it comes to the food, how that presented everything here.
All right, so coming out of COVID, people didn't want other people touching their food anymore. A little squeamish, especially the first year. Then people became a little more health conscious, and they wanted to kind of control what they ate. They didn't want to eat what they were given. But then everyone started having an allergy to everything, and everyone wanted to be gluten-free, and there was vegans, and there's vegetarians, and there's people that kept kosher. So basically what we do now is give them money, give them menus, and let them fend.
And that's a sad state of affairs.
Yeah.
It's very sad. And I don't know if COVID had to do with them changing and creating all these new trends, but I do blame it on allowing people to think they have so much of a say. And that's where people went wrong. After COVID, till about maybe 2 years ago, people were still coming in asking if we had plastic silverware. And I'm like, come on, guys, you got to stop. Yes, you got to just stop. Enough's enough. You're just destroying everything we know as human beings, let alone the restaurant industry. You're just, come on, man, let's be serious. You're honestly going to ask me if I have a plastic fork for you because you don't want to touch a fork that might not have been washed. It's ludicrous to me how people are. Yeah. And it has affected the daily life of the restaurant industry, one way or the other. It has. Yeah. And I couldn't imagine being a venue like this you have this much of a window to satisfy your obligation to the ABC board, which is our liquor commission here. So you have to have a certain amount of food sold. You have to have stuff offered. And when you're in a venue like this, no one's coming in this place to fucking eat. Nobody. No. Not one person is going to the Norva and saying, I can't wait to get a piece of chicken while I'm watching friggin' Chili Peppers.
Having a plate
You
of
see what I'm
food, watching it. No,
saying? No one's doing that. So it's very hard for a venue like this already. And then you put on all the shit he just said on top of it. Now the bands and the singers and the performers are wanting gluten-free this. And
I mean, if they want
pathetic.
us to cook them a meal, we certainly will. We have a kitchen over here, but again, the majority of them would rather just fend for themselves. And
Can we just get back to eating?
right?
Can we just get back to eating real food, meatloaf, Pop-Tarts? Just eat them.
So we had a catering room upstairs, which again you'll see, and it was set up just like a dining hall, and we had the round tables, and people would actually sit and have meals.
Sure.
A dinner. In this book, I describe dinners with Ringo Starr and with Blondie and with Billie Idol and
dinners you would never have, or dinners nobody would ever have the opportunity to have. That is amazing.
And it gave me a time to meet the artist, to talk to the artist. The one moment of the day when there wasn't that hustle and bustle, when they weren't doing their sound check or they weren't running to the radio station, we could sit down for 15, 20 minutes, have a very special meal. Again, we had a chef here, and we could have conversation. I was talking to Debbie Harry from Blondie, and she looked over my shoulder and saw this poster behind me that I had actually done on Photoshop, and she's like, "That's fantastic," and then things like that. And
so if it wasn't for the food, you wouldn't have that conversation.
I wouldn't have
you
had
can't
that
walk up to her and say, "Hey, you want to sit down and talk about this shoe?"
Or I can't walk into the dressing room. I mean, I can, but it's their sanctuary.
You get another James Brown moment.
Well, yeah, right. It's their sanctuary, and I want to stay away from them. So this is the one chance I had to talk to them, and guess what they do? They then go and tell their buddies, "Man, this place in Norfolk, Virginia is incredible. You need to go play here." Mm-hmm. Prince called us to come play here.
That's amazing. That's very cool.
I mean, you allow them to have a human moment, because they don't have very many human moments when you're on tour. You're just basically being schlepped from place to place, and you're performing. It's like, just dance, get on stage, whatever. I mean, you gave them a chance to be human and connect with somebody.
Exactly.
And it means a lot.
Well, it was originally, again, for selfish reasons, to bring them here, the mousetrap. And then you understand that, again, it's a place where you can share a meal, and that's universal.
So let me ask you this, okay? So you're 58 now. You were 25 years ago anniversary coming up. So you're in your 20s when this all happened.
30, early 30s.
Early 30s. So that is a very young age, but totally where you should be. Today, this day and age, there's a 28-year-old, 30-year-old guy or woman out there right now, and they're thinking about how nice it would be to open up a music venue. What would you say to them right now with today's climate?
Well, it's virtually impossible. Coming out of COVID, again...
No, don't feel bad.
again, COVID changed everything. So we didn't have a single show here for 2 years. The artists didn't have a single show here for 2 years. And people didn't spend money for 2 years. And they're very hungry to get out of their house. So now they're coming out of the house after COVID. And they have a pocket full of money. The government gave them even more money. Mm-hmm. So the artists haven't toured in 2 years. And another thing that happened during COVID is people sat at home and discovered streaming and Spotify.
Sure.
So now the artists are not making money selling music anymore. They're making money touring. Mm-hmm. So they have to charge higher guarantees, okay? Which I have to pay for. Mm-hmm. I then have to have higher ticket prices. But for 2.5 years after that, people didn't care. They had that extra money. They hadn't been out of their house for 2 years.
Not right.
All that. So it was coming out of COVID.
Now we find normalcy again.
Well, not now. Now inflation has hit. People ran out of their 2 years of not spending any money.
That's what I mean, normalcy.
Then inflation hit. But the artists, their guarantees are going higher and higher and higher because people are paying for them.
So a guarantee, that means you're guaranteeing $20,000, $30,000 or whatever it may be, more, I don't know. So you have to come up with that out of pocket, which you were able to.
Regardless of the ticket sales.
Right. So anyone opening this needs to understand.
And there's a bigger stock traded company. I'm not going to name the company. They do have venues around here. Sure. They just opened one up not too long ago. Right. They're a stock traded company, so they don't play by the same rules. The needle moves on their stock by how much gross they make.
Right.
So they don't necessarily care about the losses as much as we do. That comes directly out of our pockets.
Oh, you're small, right? Independently owned.
Small, yeah.
Well, we're not independent. I'm owned by AEG. which is also a huge company, but we don't play by, we're not stock traded.
Right. Well, in a sense, when I'm saying independently owned, that's still kind of independent. Maybe not you directly, but
independent mindset for sure.
Mindset,
I have my
actions, right.
budgets, but anyway. So there are companies out there that will pay these higher guarantees, not having the same consequences.
So somebody wanting to opening up this type of venue right now, it's virtually impossible because unless you connect yourself with some sort of entity like you are, there's no way.
The barriers to entry are tough. Yeah, exactly. There's an independent company that we're partners with in Richmond, and they work independently and run independently, but we have attached ourselves to them, and essentially because they're in Richmond, because they're in the western part of the state and help us.
So if it's not a conglomerate type of situation, this lifestyle just doesn't exist anymore.
It's tough. There'll be cracks, and there'll be cracks.
You know what? What sucks about that is that's the same case for a restaurant business. It's very hard. Luckily, with a little bit of hard work and a lot of hard work, I'm able to be 100% independent on my own with my 3 places. Mm-hmm. That is very rare.
Which is very
rare, especially to be a chef owned. So there's a lot of chefs now that want to open up their restaurant and don't understand that not so much me, luckily I'm in a different spot, but we are competing with these restaurant groups now. It used to be the same thing here. I mean, you open up a restaurant, you were your restaurant. You opened up another one. Well, now businessmen and women are opening up restaurant groups and have nothing to do with businesses. Yep. And if you don't get in underneath that, you're never going to make it because they're just going to swallow you up. Yep. They're going to over-advertise you. They're going to deal you. They're going to outspend you on staff. They're going to do everything they possibly can.
All of it.
They're going to pay for their awards. They're going to do all this shit.
Yeah.
That's my number one competition for me in this area are the major restaurant groups.
Yeah.
As far as the other chefs and stuff, it's very hard. It's same as this type of venue.
So the way to beat all of that, and we were independent up until 10 years ago. So we were independent, but for 15 of the 25 years. Mm. The reason why that company wanted to buy us is because of the quality, because of the detail, is because we made sure that every single thing. When you have the tour, you'll understand that this is the best sound system in the world. And at the time, it was only one of 5 venues in the country that flew that sound system because we knew we had to be better. All the black baffling on the walls makes this room soundproof. There's no echo in this room at all.
Right.
Oh, yeah, the sound in here is amazing.
So again, when the artists came, we treated them well. Not only did we treat the headliners well, but we treated the openers. I can't tell you how many openers. John Baer was an opener.
Sure.
And John Legend was an opener.
Right.
Wow.
And My Chemical Romance was an opener. And Fall Out Boy. And the biggest bands in the world were openers, and they played here. And we took care of them just as well as we took care of the headliners.
And I remember that.
There's never showers for opener acts. We had showers here. We fed them exactly what we fed the headliners.
Sure.
And sort of.
I cooked for John Legend when he was here once. Yeah. That was good. Yeah.
And it was just it's quality in everything, and we were able to gain value with our quality. And I'm a huge foodie. We're huge restaurant people. There's very few places I find in this area that have the quality of Luce, or have quality higher than even the better restaurants. I feel like they don't have the chefs to pull off.
Right.
The quality.
Sure, they don't, and that's the biggest thing. And like you said, when you create a quality item, not only do they want to be part of it as far as a group, right? They want to buy into you for not only to benefit, but they also want to buy you out of their way because you're a problem. And you either do it one way or the other. Kick ass as much as you can, so you're either a benefit to them or a problem.
You're an asset either way to someone.
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
So, or you can be both, a benefit and a problem.
Yeah, right.
Well, you can be an ass or an asset.
But
I mean, because I'm a benefit, now I'm a problem.
Let's talk Granby Street for a second. Again, there's 150 to 180,000 people walking through these doors. Half of those come from Virginia Beach. 15% of those are Hampton, Newport News, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So you're bringing in a lot of people to downtown Norfolk that don't come down here. I find that the restaurants need to step up on Granby Street. Need to step up on downtown. I have never had one restaurateur on Granby Street or in downtown Norfolk call me up to say, how many people are you expecting tonight? And I'll be glad to tell them, because again, as you just said earlier, people aren't coming here to eat.
Yeah.
But the concert, they're paying that $25, $30 ticket to come to the show, but Where are they going to go before, and where are they going to go after, and where are they going to feel comfortable down here? And if there's quality restaurants like Luce down here, or more of them, people feel way more comfortable coming to downtown Norfolk and coming to the Norfolk.
Sure. Well, if it makes you feel any better, we may not call. However, there is a schedule on our reservation booth every day of the Norva, Chrysler Hall, Wells Theater, Nauticus. There's the cruise lines. There's a list every day of every show that's coming that night. Yeah, so great. We're to the point now, we've been here for 14 years. Yeah. We know what type of show is going to bring what type of crowd. And we really thrive off of it. So we know if this band is coming here tonight, we got to prepare for this type of crowd. It's going to be that type of thing. So luckily we don't have to call, but we do pay extreme attention to this, because if you don't understand the heartbeat of your downtown, you don't know what the hell's going on.
I want to point to all the restaurateurs down here that are listening to it. Give me a call. Find out who's here. I've had Sunday and Monday nights where I've had 1,500 people here, and the restaurants on Granby Street were not open.
They're all closed.
Yeah. They're all closed, and that makes a huge difference not only to the Norva, but it makes a huge difference to downtown Norfolk and Norfolk in general, because we are the center of Norfolk.
It's overall experience.
It's the overall experience. So again, we're a team here, or we should be a team. And any restaurateurs on Granby Street, please give me a call. Find out what we have. Look at our schedule. Okay. So what's happening is a lot of our schedule now, we don't have Prince anymore, or Stone Temple Pilots anymore.
Sure.
For obvious reasons.
Right.
But we have last year, we sold out 27 shows in here.
And that's a lot.
Sold out.
That's a lot.
And people, whenever I post anything, they're like, the Norva is not as good as it used to be. Or whoever is booking that place is not as good as the guy who used to book it, which is me. Always.
Still you.
It's in the book. Book it.
It's in
Fuck
the book.
that guy. He's
But,
still here.
Yeah, right. But it's a lot of bands that you've never heard of now that your 23-year-old friend or kid has heard of that is going to be playing at the amphitheater next year.
That's right. You haven't stopped trending. You're trending the same way you were back then. The difference is it was our age group, so we knew who they were. Just because you don't know who they were doesn't mean they're not going to be the shit.
Amazing.
We had Chapel Roan here last year, about a year and a half ago. Chapel Roan, who's one of the hottest artists in the country right now. We had Billie Eilish, Grammy Award winner.
Sure.
Here. So just because you may not know the name doesn't mean that this is not a superstar or a superstar in the making.
Correct.
And you get to say, I was there to see him.
It's the same.
In the beginning.
Look, back in the day, no one knew who the Ramones were unless you knew who the Ramones were.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
right.
Yep. Even our local, you do support local music here too. Yeah. So, you
I've
never
seen
know.
War here 3 times.
Yeah, well, they're coming back.
You know what I mean?
We do every genre, everything. So again, look at our schedule. Run to Spotify or wherever and give it a listen. If you hate it, you hate it.
You guys were on a few years ago, you guys were on an awesome, speaking of genres, you guys were on an awesome hip hop run. I'm an old school hip hop guy myself. I love it. I met, talked to, hung out with KRS-One, Biz Markie, Mobb Deep, Cypress Hill. I can go on.
Yeah, we have Juvenile coming.
Which is great.
You have who else? DMX, I think.
The Locks.
The Locks. Everybody. I was here for all of it.
Cool.
You know, and that era was amazing because it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
You know,
and we have we have a lot of things that we used to book here, and again, stuff in the '80s. So we have the Leg Warmers on Friday night, which is an '80s tribute band. So it's 80s music. Now, 25 years ago, when we had them, it was a bunch of 30-year-olds that were ready to party. Mm-hmm. Now we're 58. We're not so ready to go out anymore and all that. So
and the 28-year-olds aren't going out to the Leg Warmers.
So the stuff in the 80s and 90s sometimes you get a little boost. Like one of the biggest bands now is the Goo Goo Dolls. Because I think they got a boost from TikTok.
There's a resurgence because of social media.
Yeah, because of social media. So occasionally the 80s and 90s will get a little bump from a TV show or from a TikTok video or whatever. But kind of like why we don't have bands from the 80s and 90s is it's tougher to get a 58-year-old to come out of their house. Yeah. And again, if I do come out of my house, not me, but someone like me, I would again expect to have a meal.
You want to go to dinner.
I want to go to dinner and then go to a show.
It's a whole event.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's incumbent, again, where we're situated. Now, we have a competitor down at the oceanfront now, and you see all these new restaurants popping up around them. And what I'm being told by a lot of and you may have run into this too, what I'm being told by a lot of the independent, really good restaurants is they're losing staff to these new, basically chains that are coming to the oceanfront.
Yeah. Yep, it's guaranteed nuance. I mean, it's something new for the staff. It's something new for these people. They think it's the golden ticket. They'll all go there, and the restaurant will be the restaurant. Will be the restaurant.
Right.
But like you were saying a minute ago when you were talking to the camera, I believe it's very important for any city or any downtown area or culture to work together, to combine and unite, to bring back the arts. Dining halls need to meet with concert halls. All these catering places need to meet with the houses of theaters.
Yeah.
You know, it all needs to happen to where everyone starts working together again, or else it's going to be a lost thing in society.
Do you have time for me to ramble on for 1 second?
Go ahead, ramble.
Okay.
Ramble away.
Okay. So, a little history lesson. So if you go back in time, you go back to Alexandria in Egypt, you go back to Vienna, Austria, you go back to Paris, France. You know immediately the culture of those areas. And the way culture becomes the heritage of where you are is two things: a solid education base and a stable population. Well, Norfolk and this whole Hampton Roads area has not had a stable population because of the military, so you have people running in and out. And our two major universities, Old Dominion and Norfolk State, have both been commuter colleges for years. Now in the last 10 years, the population's growing, the military is kind of stabilized now, so we don't have 80% of the population that are relying on military. So we're starting to flatten out as far as people staying here, and then the ODU and Norfolk State are becoming Division I colleges and bringing new ideas and new people from out of town. And what becomes culture, it starts off as an underground, and the underground is created by the education base. Look at Athens, Georgia. Look at all the bands that came out of there. Look at Seattle, Washington, all the bands that came. Look at Charlottesville, Virginia, the bands that came out of there. They have 45,000 population. We have 1.8 million. Right. Yet they have Dave Matthews, and they have all all
culture, hometown feel.
So you have the underground that bubbles up and becomes basically kind of a culture of the area, and then pushes through to become a heritage of this area. Well, we don't have, because we haven't had those two things, we never developed our own culture. So I feel we lived on a very borrowed culture. The oceanfront insists on calling themselves a surf place, but they just built a surf park 2 blocks off of the oceanfront. Right. So we're not really a surfing place. But
lost identity.
We don't have an identity.
Right, exactly.
So it's a borrowed identity. But when I say New Orleans, when I say Chicago, when I say New York, there is, first thing you think of generally is the food of those places. Yeah. Right? Yep. So we have more farmland per capita than any other major city in America. We should be doing that Strawberry Festival. We should be doing the APs. We should be doing all of that. We have striped.
Chesapeake Bay is right here.
We have striped bass.
Some of the best stripers. Seafood. Yeah.
Nothing drives me more crazy than going to Colorado and seeing Maryland crab cakes or whatever, because we have more in the Chesapeake Bay than Baltimore does, yet they get to claim that. There was literally a war over our oysters. Sure. I mean, literally a war. Go look it up.
No, I'm aware of it.
Right, but so we have oysters, and we have the striper, and we have crabs, and we have the farmland and all that. Nobody knows that. Mm-hmm. No one in Los Angeles understands the food culture.
None idea. And it's hard as a chef, too, to do that, because we're trying to sell our local product, and it's hard, you know?
Then we are the only community I know of that took a pile of garbage and turned it into a city park, Mount Trashmore. We were green before anybody else was green. Right. They're building windmills out in the ocean because we have the 5th best winds in the world here. Right. And instead of surfing, where we may have 2 feet waves a couple times a year, how about windsurfing, wind sailing, sailing, wind sports? We would be the top of the world in wind sports if we made this a wind sport destination.
It's because it's not cool enough to say you go wind sailing.
Yeah, and
or the city's not getting,
or the city's not getting behind it.
And that's right. That's true too. That's the point.
So again, I feel like it's a marketing issue.
So we need a regatta race. Yeah. We're setting it up.
We used to have the World 1000.
So we got to do a lot of things.
It used to be a sailing race here.
757. Step it up.
Step up. Let's step up. Well, we can talk about this all day long. So that's the thing.
I told you.
He said he had a rant. We're going to let you rant. So it was a good rant.
Well, I love talking to people from around here because there is so much around here, and it's all based around, like I said, our show is about food. It's about the food. It's about the entertainment business. It's about the venues. It's about what we're talking about, and this is a perfect friggin' avenue to talk. And this is a great
food is culture. So if you can develop the food, you can develop the culture, and I like the analogy of everything coming up from the bottom because it is. So I mean, hopefully this generation gets that part of it because we've talked about that too. But I don't know. I think I've always loved being here.
Well, get on your Google and TikTok machines and start talking about the area and start talking about what we have, and maybe we can start.
I think so.
Changing the culture. It does take time.
I think it takes time, and I think it takes the right people to push it. And once the right people start pushing that culture, it starts generating headway.
Very true.
If you start talking about how good it is to go out and eat together again, even at any level of age, everything comes from eating. Just go eat together. Everything else will come around.
And again, I'm gonna shut up now, but the book, it's all revved up and ready to go. It is on Amazon, so it is literally the journey from 10 years old to the Norva. But again, every piece of the journey, I didn't realize till the reread has food component to it.
A story of food.
It's an amazing situation. It's an amazing building. You're an amazing guy. You've done a lot for this community, a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. People don't realize how much you've actually played in this community on more ways than one. Between here, Richmond, the Bayou, all the work you've put into this industry, man, has made guys like me try and level up with you along the way. So thank you for that. Thanks for being an inspiration to us here in the world.
And your family. So we love your family. They're amazing. So yes.
Hi, fam. So again, thanks for tuning in. Burnt Hand's Perspective. Ciao for now.
Ciao.
So we're inside the Norva right now. Behind me is where some of the best venues have ever happened, some of the best shows, some of the best things that's ever come down to downtown Norfolk. And we're going to go walk through it now. We're going to check it out. And like we said before, the hot tub scene is what we're going to be ending up with. And that's going to be the highlight of this.
All right. So as I told you guys in the talk, that we needed to build a better mousetrap here. So in doing so, we wanted to make this the best room in the country. So let's start off with these floors. So these floors came out of a Richmond barn from 250 years ago. It's all pine wood. So these are still real pine wood floors. And different woods affect sound differently. And so the pine is one of the best to absorb the sound so it doesn't bounce off the floor. So that was important to have this floor.
So 200-year-old floors?
200. No, now it's probably 275 years old floors.
Wow.
Okay.
So this
floor has been down that long?
This floor has been down here since we opened.
All right, hold on one second.
No, since we opened.
All right.
So we took it out of a barn.
So the first step in this place is learning right away that these floors that I'm standing on are over 175 years old. These floors are the original wooden floors, and they have so much to do with the acoustics of the place that they've stayed and they will remain. So that's just amazing in itself that this wood floor is older.
275
years old, actually. So this is amazing. Come check out more.
Yeah, it's older than the building itself by about 100 years. So this building, again, as I told you, was built. It was opened in 1922.
So you said 275. I said 175.
275, correct. So if you look around and look at the ceiling, you see those black squares, and you see these black paneling on the wall, baffling. So this was original when it was a movie theater. So this wall over here goes 60 feet higher than the rest of the building, or 20 feet higher than the rest of the building. So it's 60 feet over there, and it's 40 feet. But what happens is the sound can travel up there, like in other venues that are very big. It can travel up there and bounce around up there and get really muddy because you have sound waves, and the sound waves just bounce off what's there until they dissipate.
Yeah.
So we took these rectangles up here, and those are sound baffling. So it prevents the sound from going up into that area up there where the actual movie screen used to be on this side over here. Cool. So this room with the floor, with the baffling, even with the brick, glass is really bad to have at a venue because that's when the sound really bounces off. But because we have the brick and because we have the wood and it's a warmer room, there's zero echo in this room at all.
I mean, I'm walking in heels. You can barely hear it. So
zero echo. So the sound in this room is perfect. Now, you have perfect sound, but you have these two up here called a VDOS sound system. And they came out 26 years ago, 27 years ago, and it's the world's best sound system. And the company that had them, it's a French company, and they went to concert venues and they said, we have the best sound system in the world. And concert venues were like, great, how much? And they said, well, $200,000. Well, no one was going to spend $200,000 or crazy enough to spend $200,000. But again, we needed to build a better mousetrap. We needed to have the best sound and the best sounding room. So we went to the company and said, we want to buy one. And they said, sorry, no, we have redone our marketing and we're now only selling to artists. So they sold Bob Dylan one and they sold Widespread Panic one. And they would take these to arenas and it would sound great. Well, the reason why they didn't want to sell it to concert venues is because, like a pilot, if you don't know how to fly the plane, you're going to crash it. So it takes skilled sound guys to understand how to use that sound system because it's that complicated to make sure everything sounds better. This is 25 years ago. Now you have computers and now you have cards, and it's a different world now than it was then. So we had a guy from Fidelity Sound who wrote a letter to the company and said, listen, I've trained on how to use the VDOS. I've trained my employees how to use it. Can you please sell them this and I'll babysit it for you? So they allowed us to spend $200,000 on this system. And it was the 5th installed in the entire country, only the 2nd one on the East Coast. So since day one, we've had the best sound system in the best sounding room.
Cool.
Boom.
Love it. All right.
275-year-old floors, the best sound system money can purchase. Only 2 of them on the East Coast. Unbelievable. Right here.
All right. So another thing we wanted to do, again, we wanted to expose everything. So you look over here, this brick. Our contractor said, do you want us to smooth that out? We're like, no, absolutely not, because it's the history and the warts that make it great. I mean, there's venues that have spent millions of dollars in other regions to make it look like this. So we had this. So everywhere there was 100-year-old brick, we exposed it. Everywhere there was metal, we exposed it. Everywhere there was wood, we just stained it and polished it. So you'll see a lot of the things when the brackets are over here that were used to be the balcony for the movie theater. We left those there. They're over 100 years old at this point.
Mason art.
Here's the brackets from the balcony, from the seats, the balcony that was there. These are brackets that. So we left it all there. It's cool. This is what the Norva looked like.
Oh wow! And it was a theater.
This is a piece of it. And this is what Grammy Street was in 1947.
Is this what Jack and the homegirl are floating on at the Titanic?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't let go, Jack.
So where's Luce here?
You'd be on the other street.
No, it's this one. This is Grammy Street. It would be down here.
This is.
Oh, here we go.
This is where our catering room was, and you can see the appreciation of what we did for them because they signed drum heads. I love this. Like a cool one is, let's see, I don't have Miranda Lambert.
So these are all signed.
These are all signed. I don't know what happened to the Miranda Lambert one, but not only signed, but so like this one was actually, all of these were drawn by the artist. Slash did this. Slash drew, that's his self-portrait.
That's awesome.
Oh, cool.
And
so cool. Lily Bryce.
My Chemical Romance, they did that, and Train.
So cool.
Queensryche, yes.
So cool. So much history, like when you look at what's happened here.
All right, so this is Dog Star. Dogs?
Flag.
All right, so I believe this signature right here, that's Keanu Reeves. That's his band, Dog Star.
Oh, cool.
They
Nice.
hang out, their lounge, they have a TV, they can watch whatever.
Got lava lamps,
Play
we're
pool.
good.
They have showers over here.
Yeah, they get their whole own
If
space.
they want to have an after show party, they want to invite some people back, this is where they come.
Okay.
Now, I would say this is the best headliner dressing room in America.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Again, we put a lot of details in this. So, very nice bathrooms. Most places have maybe a trough or something, but we have very nice bathrooms.
No trough for you. Full toilet.
They can iron their clothes here. We have ironing boards. We have all that stuff. We have a piano for them. My office is literally up there, and I can hear these artists creating their next songs on the piano. If there's like a main person or a girl lead singer or something, this room's for them. Full mirror,
they have a
their
separate
private bathrooms, all that stuff.
That's cool.
This is.
Look at this.
There you go.
Yes.
So this is nicer than my house in some parts, but it's their living room. They can do whatever they want in here. They can watch games. They can hang out. It's just a place for them to come and relax in the hustle and bustle of touring. You're constantly moving, and it's very draining.
It's
after 100
exhausting,
days on the road, and you come to a place like this, and they're like,
just
"Wow,
relax.
this is great." Here is the world famous.
Oh, here we go. We're going into the hot tub. This is where the magic happens.
This is where the magic happens.
Take a look at this.
In here, it'll be in book number 2, but that'll come out wild. Rule number 5 is the most important rule in this whole building.
Okay.
If you look up there.
Do not use the tub if you are menstruating.
Oh boy.
No blood in the water. That's what we're going with. Okay. So take a soap shower before entering.
Yeah.
Press white buttons to turn on.
Where was James Brown?
Where was
James Brown did not get in the hot tub. He was over in the.
He was there naked.
He was over
Okay.
there. So yeah, I never got
a very
him
big
or a
hot
picture
tub.
in the hot tub. I was like, after I saw little James, I was like, I'm good with the hot tub. Anyway, 4 private showers. And
I like the shower curtains.
And this
Oh, these are fun.
is a sauna, and probably 50% of the singers get in here for their voice.
Yeah,
Love it.
I would be in here. This was like, yeah.
Boom.
So again, some of this was left over from the Downtown Athletic Club.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah,
saying,
so you had this. This is awesome.
So again, when I say a spa day, I literally mean a spa day.
Right.
So how many people have you gotten in the hot tub at one time?
Book number 2.
Oh, wow.
Sweet.
Oh, this is cool.
This is an actual 3-point line and actual foul line. We measured it.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, when people would you can see the wood behind the basket, so people would jam and break it and stuff. But there's been so many band documentaries that were filmed in here.
These are, need a little bit of air.
Well, there's the pump is right there's the pump.
So this was a racquetball or a squash room.
Let's see.
This is a racquetball room that we just turned into a basketball court. So we are the only one with an indoor basketball court in America.
Hey.
Thank you.
There you go.
One hit wonder.
I'm done. That's it. I did it.
Show's over.
And we were one of the very first places in the whole state of Virginia to make it smoke-free.
Oh,
You
okay.
cannot smoke in here. I'll show you what we did instead. But actually, this was supposed to be the smoking room, but we have smoke eaters in there, but like a restaurant will have, or restaurants used to have, but that's for 10 cigarettes, not 100 cigarettes.
Yeah, right.
So it just couldn't keep up. All right, so we had a muralist who started this before COVID, and all these people on here actually played here before. But after COVID, he disappeared. So there's some spaces left.
Check out shows and updates.
You got the Norva.com. You got all over Facebook. You got Instagram. We're all every social media you can think of. You can certainly call the restaurants and ask.
Yeah.
And ask what they
Make
have.
your reservations.
Make your reservation. And again, when you come down in downtown Norfolk, please feel comfortable going to a restaurant first, walking over here. It's very safe, and then go and get a drink afterwards.
Yeah.
So check them out. Follow them on and give them some support. Give them some love.
And buy that book.
And buy that book
All revved
on
up and
Amazon.
ready to go on Amazon.
All right. Thanks again.